Hello, it's Kevin here. Time for a video. So this is from Cambridge 6, test number 2. If you've been watching these in the series, you will have seen we're doing every Cambridge Academic Writing Task. Maybe later, once this series is finished, I'll do the non-academic ones also. We'll see how that works out. Anyway, so we started at 18, 17, 16, blah, blah, blah. And we finally got to Cambridge 6, like I say, test number 2. So this is average distance in miles travelled per person per year. And this is in England by mode of travel. Okay, so first things first then, disclaimer, fair use teaching, you know the score. I mention it every time. Get that out of the way. So I wrote a sample, 204 words. We'll take a look at that. I'll explain that. Then I've got 5 samples from IELTS 9 Pro, my group on Telegram, where I post a writing task and invite responses, and I comment on those. So we'll take a peep at mine first. Now, like I keep saying, introduction, pretty straightforward, right? The table shows the changes, average annual mileage per person, travelled in England by various means. You don't need to list every single one, because if you look at the table, we've got about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8. So I wouldn't list all those, though some people did. So I'm saying it for the introduction. Now, key trends and features. So key trends first. Well, it's obvious that all modes, so on average in general, people travelled more or farther. Alright? 4740, 6475. So between that year and that year, the amount of miles people travelled increased. So key feature 1. Now, obviously, what's the biggest, what's the smallest, right? So car is the biggest means of transportation, means, mode, etc. Out of the 8, car's the biggest. Okay? And if we look at it, there was an increase in all but 3 categories. So you can see that walking went down, bicycle went down, local bus went down. So 5 out of the 8 increased and 3 went down. So overall, there was an increase. Cars the biggest, 5 went up and 3 went down. That's pretty much it, right? That's the key trends or features. That's all you've got to identify. There's usually 3. All right. So overall, it can be seen the total number of miles to by English people in general increased, with all but 3 modes rising. Now this is just the overview, right? So you don't have to put a lot of detail here, figures, etc. That comes here. Okay. So total increased. So all but 3. So 5 went up and 3 went down. The car was the biggest. That's it, okay? Then just go into the figures and data. Now, like I keep saying, you need to do this in a logical manner, so you start with the biggest and go to the smallest. So here, and I'm doing comparisons between 85 and 2000, these are the ones that went up and these are the ones that went down, right? Pretty straightforward in terms of logic, yeah? I would have thought so. But, as you'll see, not everybody adopts the same mindset. But, for the good score, you do need a logical sequence, okay? So, 1985, average person travel by all modes, compared with 2000, car, train, bus, taxi, blah, 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 blah. Okay, right? However, these all fell across the period, and then you've got your figures and data. That's it, 204 words. Now that's 204 words, but that's not particularly excessive, but that's because we've got a lot of data here, yeah? We've got, 8 different categories, 2 years, so that all needs to be included. But still, 204 words, that's not bad. Now, let's have a peep at what you did. Now, like I say, there's a couple here, list all, right? So, walking, bicycle, so with the statistically measured distances, that has been changed. Now, Right, I haven't changed every single thing on these 5. I don't have the time to rewrite, every single one. So I'll just go over the main features that I would have not have done and that I would do. All right. So I wouldn't list all. You don't really need that. Statistically measured. Well, it's not a statistic, is it? It's a distance. It's not a statistic is like 8 out of 10 people, 80% of people do so and so. That's a statistic. Now, that has been changed. Why is it present perfect passive? That has been changed. So both of them are in the past, so surely it should be simple past. Okay, what can be found? Right. Now, some of you, I've noticed, some people ask me about lexical resource score, because I posted yesterday in the group, or the day before, about how if you use some strange, unnatural expressions, the examiner is going to notice, right? Overall, what can be found from this table is that the most prominent transportation approach of English residents refers to car in both demonstrating years. So that's a long-winded way of saying, what did I say? How did I say it? Out of all forms of transport, the car was easily the most utilised. Okay, so we've got this very long-winded way of saying that the car was the most, a little bit long-winded. We don't refers to car in both for motion and means, respectively, almost commuting distances. All right, so that's not too bad. It's just that's a bit long-winded. All right. To commence, just probably tell me in 1985. Okay, and why is it excessive detail? There's only 2 figures per transport. That's not excessive detail, is it? Okay. The highest mode of transporting allocated to what does that mean? Oh dear. So, article use and some of these interesting expressions here. No need to list all, right? You've got modes, bicycle, long distance bus, right? No need to list all those. That could be why this is 233 words. What's notable, took the lead, so car's the biggest, taxi and bike the lowest, and more miles which are okay, so that's not too bad for an overview. That's got a couple of features there. John McCown out to was the most common word for British people. Again, it's a bit long-winded, that's why it's 253 words. And it saved this place. The second and third places belong to Always and Local Bus, second place. The second place in 2000 was the same belonged to Other Ways. The same belonged to Other Ways. Oh yeah, now that may well be true, right? But I wouldn't mention that detail if it doesn't say it in the table, and it should be environmental or environmentally friendly ways. But that's true, but I wouldn't say that because you're putting words into the mouth of the table, as it were. Okay. 233 words. 257 words, I don't know. Table displays the average miles, different modes. Okay, yeah, that's good. All right. Parent, car, you've got taxi, so what's the biggest, what's the smallest? And increase, okay, that's good. Cars are most favorite mode of travel. Every person travelling with them yearly. Second and third most used were category like buses, you could popular, yeah. Overall miles. So this isn't bad. It's just I'm not quite sure why it's 257 words. Still, that's got most of the details. I mean, if you can write 257 words in 20 minutes, okay, good for you. So, 170 words, okay. Average distance in miles it must travel, okay. Travel by car was the most popular. At least, right. So, that's not too bad, but main features, almost so more travel in general increased. Yeah, that's the feature 1. Okay, then we've got car. Okay, 5 went up and 3 went down. So you could have maybe put a little bit more in the overview. And we don't have a lot of detail here. It's only 170 words. Now, what's this per person travelled? So you mean each person travelled? Because per doesn't mean each person. Per person travelled, which was the main sort of travelling, the least way of travelling. Travel. Okay, I think that's, there's one like more. Okay. So you need to watch how you vary your language here. If you look at mine, most common means, all modes of transport, travel by train, rose, increased also, travel by walking. So I use use. I think I used utilised somewhere. Yeah, so you can see how you can vary your mode, vary your language a bit without travel. So travelled, okay. Utilised, used, utilised, travel, modes of transport, common means of travel by train, like as a noun, travel by walking, okay. Use, utilise, okay. So there's a few different ways that you can do this. Okay, this final one here. Now, alteration, usually alter your clothes. Changes is better. 15 years. Furthermore, the distances were measured in miles. All right. Now, appealing. Just, the most used. That's better. All right. Utilised. That's good. Okay. Distance travelling with all modes increased. Were travelled. Travelling by car. Okay. I'm not going to change everything here, but that isn't bad. But 232 words. Okay. You can cut it down a little bit. Again, I'll just put mine up so you can have a look. Okay. So just do that introduction. Just paraphrase it a bit. Average annual mileage per person. It was like what was it? Per capita? Was it per person per year? Yeah. Average distance travel per person per year. So I changed it to average annual mileage per person travelled. Yeah? And then get your key features and have a logic. There's different ways you could do this one, but like I say, they went up, they went down. Okay? That would seem to be a logical way of doing that. Right, good. Hope that helps. Next video, Cambridge 6, test number 3. Okay. Again, hope that helps. Bye for now.